And I'm late. Greetings and salutations. I am Karen Russmore, and welcome to my stream of Pathfinder Kingmaker. Sorry, I was busy doing something. Right up until before my stream, and I was like, oh, I gotta go and get to my stream. And the music's cut out. Why is the music cut out? Oh, change of tracks. And yeah, you can hear the music, or hopefully you can hear the music. And then it was all like, yep, okay, now I've set the stream going, I'll just run and grab myself a coffee, as I always do. And yeah, it took me a little while longer than I expected. I want to do a little thing before I get going. Come on. Don't be daft. I must add. Okay, so now we should have a new command called giveaway. So if we type into chat !giveaway, it should do something new. Sorry, I'm having to use my other computer to do this. Give away. Did that work? That's not worked. Okay, right. So I edit that and I copy that text. And then I go over to commands, custom, add, watch out, and it's going to be give away, and submit that. And now try that again over here. Yeah, that way. And Nightbot will actually tell me and tell people what the giveaway is. I've just noticed I'm not actually 35 followers, I'm not 34 followers, I'm 35 followers. So that bit of information is wrong. There we go, it's now updated to 35. Alright, sorry about the delay on that, just wanted to get all the paperwork out of the way before we sit down and begin. Now we're ready to begin. So let's switch over to the game screen and bring up the game. And click on continue. So we're at that weird and wonderful stage at the moment where there doesn't seem to be a part of the main plot to be going on with, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but at the same token it seems a little bit like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? So I'm just kind of, I forgot to stop the other music. There we go. Stop that music, because we don't need two sets of music going. That's just confusing for everybody. So yeah, I'm just kind of wandering around doing whatever I fancy until something comes up. Well, say what you will, I live free. Doesn't mean I won't get beaten up. To say blah blah blah. Okay. So there's a lonely hunter. Ivar the Hunter calls himself the Dragon's Voice, protector of the village, and apparently, amongst other things, he protects it from those who claim the right to rule here. We should find him and deal with the situation, or with the man himself. Not entirely sure whether that's supposed to be. It doesn't give me any hint as to why did I do that. I want to exit. I'll take out the usual suspects. I'll find out what there is to do, because one of the things I've got is I've been invited to go over to Varnhold. And we meet with the Baron of Varnhold. Okay, the Lonely Hunter at the last Lake Silver Lake Village. Lake Silver Step Village. But there's also going off to Varnhold. I think we're going to go off to Varnhold because that's kind of outside of my area of... Wait, is it marked as a problem? That's the question, because if it's marked as a problem... Charge is busy for 21 days. So that's not going to change. Okay. We are just going to go to the edge of my territory. Which is about there. And see what clears up. What alerts come up. But probably going to head to Varnhold. I tried pretty much most of last session to go to Varnhold. And then it was just like, oh, this has come up, this has come up, this has come up. Approach the random encounter. And my eye is giving me jip. Ah. Why does it always seem like this camera is off center and my monitor is askew? Oh, it's this guy again. To say that this guy seems to be a bit of a semi-random event. And I'm guessing you're not supposed to come across him every time you step outside of town. I don't half meet into him a fair amount. He's got some interesting things. But nothing I really particularly want. Oh well, that's something I want to do. Tristan, you've got the Lesser Empower Meta Magic Rod, and what's this? This rod grants its wielder the ability to make up to 3 spells per day cast per up to 3 spells they cast per day. Extend others through the extend spell feat. An extend spell lasts twice as long as normal. A spell with a duration of concentration instantaneous permanent is not affected by this feat. Okay. We'll give it to... Well, do we want to give it to him? Or do we want to give it to... I think we actually want to give it to Octavia. But we don't want it permanently on.
Let you down.
Because we kind of want to pick and choose when she uses that. Because there's things like Pit that we don't want it to be on. But there's things like Haste, which we do, Haste and Slow, which we do want it to be on. As well as Fox's Cunning and any of the other reasonable duration ones. But the Pits, I think, are long enough for the most part. Also, it saves all the rods being on Tristan. Which, as much as I enjoy Tristan, I don't think he's got anything... I mean, he's got bull strength and... Bear's endurance? Right, finish off going here. Something strange is happening in the region. Residents are complaining about strange misfortune. Somebody must be casting spells to harm the Baron and his subjects. The reason and culprits must be discovered. See, now it's gone over to a new day, and I want to... It's a bit annoying that I can't actually do this from either side. Open a hospital. Okay, we've opened a hospital. That's great stuff. We don't have... Hitting the poor and the weak, or weaken the poor, and ranking up community. See, I'd like to do that, but can't skip time while adventuring. So we'd have to go back to the capital to do that. But we could do this one, which is heating the weak and the poor. Paying attention to the community and heating every distress call. The reagent resolves problems with a +1 bonus. Again, we need more build points, so we'll buy 23, is it? No, 27. It's costing me an arm and a leg in these bleeding things. It's 14 days, that should be okay. That's nearly fixed, that's a good thing. Then our little gnome friend here can move on to some of the other things that he's not been able to deal with. All these trade agreements, which to a certain degree it's like this one, for example. It's a 5 BP for each week. Each city will be 5 BP, each town will be 2 BP, each village will be a BP. So that'll be straight up 5 BP with what I've currently got settlement wise. That's a BP per week. That's 4 BP per week. That's curses who I need better people for. Trade agreement, another couple of BP per week. Research into curses, that'll be Jod, and supporting. So it's one of them where it's like I really need a lot. Once Jubilios the gnome gets sorted out on that previous thing that I sent him home onto. Right, will this... Okay, how am I supposed to get to Varnhold?
When we stop.
Okay, Heather is knackered, so... let's have some shepherd's pie or onion soup. +1 saving throws, +1 saving throws. Have onion soup. Let's annoy anybody that we meet.
I'd like to sit at a desk in my own library, writing memoirs, with someone bringing me a nice cup of hot tea. Oh, who am I kidding? I wouldn't be able to sit still for a day.
I've yet to see anything terrible go wrong, I think. I think it might have happened once where we got ambushed in the middle of the night. Is this going to let me to go to Varnhold? Oh, random encounter. Oh! Our travels took us east. Leaving the mountain ridge behind, we came to Dunswood, a wild land far less populous and civilized than the barren that had grown so dear to us. It wasn't all bad, though. The roads in Dunswood were well guarded, and soon we were met a well-armed patrol. As we approached, one of them raised a hand. "Stop! Turn back! The road to Varnhold is closed." The second guard was in less of a hurry to drive us off. He squinted and studied our leader. "Wait, you're Chiron. My respects, your grace. If you're here, travelling so far from your land, I have to assume you've come to visit our ruler, Mager Varn. You may continue on, of course, but please allow us to accompany you to Varnhold for your own safety. Are you ready to continue?" The Baron took the opportunity to learn the reason for such caution. "Bandits, your grace," one of the armed guards muttered. "All sorts of rabble make their way here from Restov. We don't get a moment's peace. The rivers and roads are crawling with their lot. Until we clear them out, we thought it best to patrol the tracks and the river. But we're not here to hold you up with that. We'll be happy to accompany you on your journey to Varnhold." We agreed to let the guards escort us safely to Varnhold. I mean, I'm slightly concerned that they've not dealt with the problem yet. You'd think somebody would be dealing with that. Well, that was easy. I find it a little bit weird that I can actually see the entire map. There's people. Traveller. Do you need anything? Yes, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to people. Do I have to go? Do they have a keep? No. They don't seem to have a building of import apart from... There we go. Rest off 40 miles across the River Varnhold Fort. North West Mountain Pass 12 miles. Oh, can we just fjord this? Yeah, I think we can fjord the river. God, God. Give me somebody important. Do I really have to set Amory at the, to have a go at you? Welcome to Varnhold. Yes, I would like to be welcome to Varnhold. If there's anybody important enough to meet me? Do I continue on this way? Is there a place where I can leave the map? There's a door I can knock at. Is there any kind of door that I can knock at? There is not. I am insulted. I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going to meet the Baron of this place. They don't really have many people around here. You, fisherman. You don't have a distinct name, so I think you're unimportant. That's what RPGs have taught me over the days. It's like, do you have a name? Oh, you're a fisherman. Then you are no one of import. See, if it suddenly came out with Fisherman Bob, then... Oh, hello. Family Guy. Before you is a tall, robust man. A white scar crosses his face. His dark hair is gathered back in a small ponytail. The sleeves of his expensive doublet do little to hide the muscles beneath. Although irritated by the argument, a wide smile lightens up on his face as he recognizes you. Whom do I see? Chiron, my friend? Welcome to Varnhold. I'm Magna Varn. I run the town here. I hope you had no trouble on the roads. And my respect to you, lady. Varn stops when Valerie, upon hearing his voice, turns around. Please have decency not to stare at me, sir. My apologies. I meant no offense. Apology accepted. I mean, I'm not going to tell Valerie off for that. I'm just going to say nothing. Magnar awkwardly shifts from foot to foot and clears his throat. Valerie sneaks a guilty look at you and Magnar. Forgive me, sirs. I'm in a touchy mood today. I couldn't help but paying. I couldn't help not paying a visit, especially after your invitation. Look at this from another perspective, my friend. This is a chance for you to survey your eastern borders and make sure you've got no one but allies here. It's better to see for yourself than rely on the words or on my words alone. Am I right? A nod at the merchant. Taking the reins of government into your own hands? Trying to, at least. I have to admit, conquering the lands was far easier than making the greedy merchants check in. I would like to personally express my gratitude for all your help. Don't mention it, old friend. We adventurers help each other out, am I right? I'm glad we see eye to eye on the issue. That's why you will get along so well, my friend. Ah, my eyeball. Why must you leak? I see life in Varnhold is in full swing. Much remains to be done, but what you see now is just the beginning. Varnhold has a shining future. Just you wait. By next year, we'll begin building a track to your capital, an established river trade with a rest off. Right now, Dunswood is not particularly welcoming, but I aim to change that. As soon as we gain a foothold here, we'll begin clearing out the lands of creatures, monsters, and Spriggans alike. And my people must feel safe. Let me speak directly. Who else are you allied with? Magna narrows his eyes at you and nods. Cutting to the chase, eh? Very well, we have more in common than you'd think. Here's the truth. I don't trust those who sit in the north. They send fellows like us out to do all their dirty work. You and I share this frontier, Chiron, and I'd rather not bet on our mutual interest as neighbours. I'd rather bet on our mutual interest as neighbours than the distant sword lords and their like. I stumbled into a most peculiar old man on the way here. Planning future conquests, are you? You've got enough on our hands at the moment, although in the future, who knows, who knows. Magnus studies you for a moment in silence and bursts into laughter. Just don't think I'll start marching my guard off over the mountains onto your doorstep. There's plenty of land to the east for my people to patrol without trespassing on my allies. You sure about that? Watch yourself, because I'll be watching you. Vaughn jokingly lifts his hand in the air. Peace, peace. I've stumbled into a most peculiar old man on my way here. Ah, yes. You mean Cephal Lontorth, my wizard. Codger hardly a pleasure to talk to, but when it comes to knowledge of the arcane, he's without match. Sometimes the locals bring me curious objects they unearth while ploughing or stumbling on them while patrolling the wilderness. If an object looks interesting, I send it to the capital. Send them to Cathal. Let him separate the wheat from the chaff. You have my respects, Maga, but I have to leave. Well, that was an entirely pointless journey. I came here. I said hi. There's something up over here that I may loot.
That is not far.
I mean, I'm not going to. I could, but I'm not going to. Good day. So, yet again, I'm at a bit of a loss as to what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Do you have anything interesting to say? Good day. Anything you need? I don't know. Something to do? I'm a baron who's bored. Peasant woman, peasant woman, peasant. I should really say peasant man. No, it's you. How can I help you?
You can count on me.
See those clouds? Rain's coming, I tell you. I believe they're talking about pests. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but there is fireworks going on outside. As you're all probably aware, it's New Year's Eve / day, depending on where you are in the world. I say depending on where you are in the world. Mine is rapidly approaching.
In due time.
I say rapidly. 2.5 hours thereabouts until New Year's. I will be streaming until New Year's. I'll probably actually stream into the New Year's and wish you all Happy New Year. It's a quiet one this year, although most of my New Year's are quiet.
May we have a moment?
I suppose to a certain degree I'm just a little bit cynical into the whole thing of sort of like New Year's largely seems to be pointless. Everybody rest. Yes. There we go.
Hey, Amiri, why don't we go to a fashionable dress shop once we get to the city? I promise we'll make a real beauty out of you.
What? You want me to pull on a dress? Maybe I should start brushing my teeth, too.
See, that's the odd thing. It took me there, not to Varnhold. It's a curiosity. Anyway, might as well go to this village. It's something to do out here before I head back home and start looking after my kingdom. Yeah. I do have a feeling that I'm supposed to be taking this opportunity to build stuff up, but I'm never entirely sure what that's supposed to entail. This game does not really give you much in the way of hints as to what you're supposed to be doing on the kingdom side.
All according
Right,
to plan.
I have arrived here. I have no idea where here is. Nope, mobility, climb down the slope.
Follow my lead.
I mean, I don't really fancy risking climbing down the slope just yet. Before you is a pile of torn sheets of paper scribbled on in steady handwriting. Next is the text is faded, almost unrecognizable. You know, Lisa, my father always used to scold me, saying, Ivar, you shouldn't wag your tongue so much. I never listened. Remember the day of matchmaking? The headsman's son came to you, gave you those nice boots only city ladies wear? When in doubt, slaughter the pheasants. I mean, I could do. I'd have to find a pheasant. And his servants brought a barrel of honey and a crate of sausages. Then Mengar the smith came, brought an ornate door casting, skillfully crafted locks and piles of other housewares, and said he was going to decorate a house for two of you with all the crafted. I came late in the evening after all of them had left, and all I bought was a bunch of wild flowers. I set them on the porch and said, I saw a Nixie crying in the forest. She planned to make a lantern of my heart, but she found my heart was already taken. It's bad fortune to make Nixies cry, so Lady Lisa, would you go to the forest and give the heart you've taken to anyone who may need it more than you? You told me I was such a fool and then kissed me. For our wedding, you invited your relatives, the old miller's widow and stupid Aesel, the fisherman, out of pity. I suspect that no one else wanted to spend time around him. I invited frogs, wind, and a full moon. Brother moon, I say, please be so kind as to share your light with everyone. For my bride tires of shining over this world alone. The frogs sang along with Aesel, and you were more beautiful than the moon and more cheerful than the spring wind. Ari was about to turn 5 and Mika was just 4. I'd spent a month dragging fish to the cliff and cursing the stupid wyvern who just wouldn't be lured. Just killed the peasants and claim dyslexia. I'd need to find peasants as well, and no, I'm not going to kill my own peasants. They're my people. They make me money. When I finally lured her, I chased her through the bushes, collecting her silver scales here and there as they fell. I wouldn't have been so hard to decorate our garden with those scales if I hadn't done it at night. Then the morning came, and our children were silent, their mouths agape. Hundreds of silver lights sparkling atop an apple and cherry trees. I hid my scratched hands in my sleeves and scoffed. This isn't so special. You'll never notice. You've never noticed before how the stars hide in the trees from the cunning sky cat. That's a mouthful. You looked at me without a word, but I could still hear your words in my mind. You're such a fool, Ivar. I love you. I don't remember how I came up with the story of the silver dragon. I came home late with a black grouse I'd shot and said, it was a hard fight, I just couldn't aim properly. This dragon kept peeping out from the clouds, blinding me with his shiny silver wings. You saw a real dragon, Dad? Not the whole dragon, no. You see, the only way to see the dragon is if two loving souls climb up the high cliff under a new moon, hand in hand. At that time, I wasn't thinking about how dark the night was, or how steep the path to the cliff, top of the cliff was, especially for little feet, or how wet the rocks were after the rain. I was just looking at you, wishing it was us, two loving souls, hand in hand, sneaking away up to the skies. Oh, as we did when we weren't that much older than Ari and Mika. The next morning you woke first, and it was you who found our children's beds empty. You said nothing to me then. Not when we walked through the misty woods. Not when we found Mika's doll at the start of the path leading to the cliff. You kept silent as I ascended from the chasm with Arya's body in hand. You said nothing when Arsel brought Mika's body found further out at the lake shore near the cliff. You're such a fool, Ivar. You wag your tongue too much. It was just a story, another of your stupid fairy tales. How could it end this way? I'm sorry, Lisa. Better you marry the smith of the headsman's son. Or stupid asshole. Anyone but me. It's my fault. Forgive me, please. And let me go. Today I'll go to the children's graves and... ... the house used to be neat and cozy once, but it almost looks abandoned. The door is shut tight. That does not look shut tight. I can see the... But anyway. So that little letter took a rather depressing turn.
I need inspiration.
So we have a Nereid, giant poisonous frogs, they're not that difficult by the looks of them. So murder that one. Well, that's slightly more of a problem, I suppose. Alright, just move up there and murder that frog. Thank you. Right, I need you to fall into a hole. Oh, bullshit. Modifiers of a 17. Oh, wait, who was that? Cast greater invisibility. That's possibly a bad sign. Well, that's most of the frogs dealt with. Where's this last frog? Oh, it's there. Nope. I need to distract her over there. I can't think of any way of doing it other than sticking some arrows in her. No, can't scorching ray. I can try and fireball? Controlled fireball in that area. No? Okay, right. Move forward to about there. And fireball there.
Tear them apart!
Oh, shoot. Go over there and hopefully don't fall down the hole.
Consider me provoked.
There you are.
Let us strike as one. Ah!
Tasha's hideous. Does that work on you? Nope. Do I? What do I have? Flare, spear piercing scream, kill greater wounds, hideous laughter, grease, glitter dust.
Repent! This should do it.
Oof. I mean, that's going to be a bit tricky. Damage reduction, cold iron 10, and immunity to cold damage.
This is for you!
Do yourself a favor and move away from the big thing that could crush you like a bug. Right, Lindsay, can you just come over here and do the same? Get out of range before you get squished like a bug, and glitter dust. It succeeded on the saving throw, of course it did. Right, Tristan,
You
fire at
forced
that
my
one.
hand.
Oh, this is Amory. Right.
A calculated risk.
Why? Oh, you're fascinated. Okay. That's a bit annoying.
I'll try to make this swift. They go down!
I'm immune to the poison that they're trying to throw out. Whoa! Okay, that's a little bit annoying.
Do not falter.
Continue hitting that thing.
Serves you right.
So it's come to this.
Try hitting the big thing. There we go. That's some damage. Right. I just want you to move away from the acid pit. It's just unsafe there.
This will hurt.
There we go. Right, now it's just a case of waiting for the acid pit to wear off, as it always is. How long is that fascinate going to last? It's permanent until... Oh, it's a bard thing. Oh, it made it out of the pit. God damn it. There we go. Alright. Oh, it's gone quiet all of a sudden. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's a chest. Wacha! Ooh, light shield +2. Might be good if anybody used light shield. See, it used to be a case that these things were difficult to deal with.
I'll fight if I have to. You can't stop me.
No, I really don't think they're that much of a bother.
Repent!
Charge! Ooh, it didn't die.
This didn't work. I must be doing it wrong.
Let's try this way.
Bum-ba-bum.
Consider me provoked.
Ah!
You deserved it.
You forced my hand.
I mean, even Tristan's hitting reliably. There's literally only a natural 20 that'll hit Valorant.
Bring it! Look at me, Gorum!
Not really concerned what it takes to hit Amory, because she's more dangerous than most of the things we'll find out
This
too.
should do it. A calculated risk.
If you could just stop knocking me over, that would be
This
great.
is for you.
Oof. Hello, miss.
I'll try to make this swift.
Ow. Balderdash.
They go down! Hey!
I really want that, so that's... Where's my sneak attack? Yeah.
I'll fight if I have to.
Is it immune to being sneak attacked? Ninja sense. And can I dodge? Can no longer be flanked, which means that they're mainly immune to sneak attack damage. Unless they're caught flat-footed in another way. Still, just hit them enough times and everything dies.
Bring it! Wait!
Let us strike as one.
This will hurt. Let's try this
There's
way.
few of them though, that's the question
You
with
can't
you.
stop me.
This will hurt. Potentially me, because I'm not very good at combat. Skin, collect, move together. Tristan, let's pull out a bit of a heal for Chiron. Alright, how are we doing on this map? Have I been here before? Did I pick this loot up? If the place is abandoned, there's no problem with me taking everything, right? I'm a rogue after all. Lawful good, but still a rogue.
As it should be.
I'm not.
Oh, we have things. Tetzel worms. Can't remember how dangerous these things are, but let's not put it too much to the test. Oh, they're not very dangerous. Oh well.
This should do it.
Consider me provoked.
Alright, you're provoked. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Lots of tetzel worms. Might actually fireball the area. Do I have fireballs?
Do not falter!
Don't move too fast. Ooh. Everybody got an attack of opportunity. I think Tristan used his one and only fireball,
So it's come
but
to this.
pretty sure somebody else has fireballs. Lindsay, that'd be a no. I think Octavia might have something. Oh, we've got another one of them. Nixie pranksters.
A calculated risk.
Although now I'm thinking about it, it's like, do I really need to? Yeah, I'll be fine. Do need to get a healer up to Cairo, but it's just about par for the course. He always seems to get murdered.
Tear them apart!
Onwards!
Interesting. Let's have another wonderful heal on Cairo. That one was supposed to be empowered.
Strike worth a legend.
Confusion is not fun. Three for three. Boom. Alright, Octavia,
I'll
move
fight if
forward.
I have to.
Amory, can you charge? Yes, you can. Great stuff. Can you move
This is where
close
I
enough to
step in.
crossbow? Do 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 do. They've got
This
an
will
annoying
hurt.
set of skills. Great stuff. Family just crit against me. Ah, shoot. Move up to there.
Let's try this way.
Alright, Octavia, can you hold? No. Magic missile. That never misses. Of course, the next prankster is immune to magic missile. Alright. Tristane. I would rather you didn't do that, but okay. Yeah, I'm not in a laughing mood, okay? Jesus. How long's this confusion going on for? 6 more rounds. Great stuff. Right, oh, you can actually do the thing. Failed to overcome spell resistance. Oh, of course. Ugh. Most of the fights around here aren't that difficult. It's more just the fact.
Yourself open.
That these people are terribly, terribly trickster. Right, Valerie, I want you to move all the way over there. And come in just behind, so that you're far enough away from Chiron that you won't accidentally stab him in your confusion. Oh.
You can't stop me!
Miss the concealment. Punch yourself in the face. Can't hit the broadside of a bomb.
You deserved it.
Missed a little on the concealment. Did 2 whole points of damage. And everybody's just cracking up.
They go down! Ah!
That's the way to do it. Right. Everybody move.
Well? What you want?
Away from everyone else for the moment. The corpse of the tall man lies torn apart on the shore. The man was probably an experienced fighter in life, but it didn't do him much good in the end. You noticed that a tuft of red fur clenched in the dead man's hand. Whoever killed this man, it is unlikely it was a talisman.
All according to plan. In due time.
There we go.
Follow my lead.
The villager. My goat is such a dog. He puts some moves on the headsman's mare. Villagers. Villager. Fishing tackle is neatly packed in and dry. It's obviously haven't been used recently. Seems a bit weird for a fishing village. You have a name. If only I was a sorceress, I would have invented magic that makes cauldrons clean themselves. The fishing boats have seen better days, but it looks like no one has took them out on the lake today. Brevis, you have a name. Ooh. Welcome to Brevis Roadside Shop. Judging from his accent and his fine clothes, this trader isn't from around here. What's causing all the fuss around here? You mean those fish jumping ashore? These fools believe that thanks to their patron, the Silver Dragon, he supposedly decided to provide the villagers with a feast and sent them this gift. Idiots. I don't know the real reason the fish are jumping, but if it were me, I wouldn't get too close to these fish or the lake. You sent me a letter, right, about a hunter named Ivar and his Silver Dragon stories. Ivar, he's a resourceful one to be sure. Made the whole area believe he's some chosen one, the spokesman for the Silver Dragon. The idiots around here listen to everything he says and do whatever he asks. It's strange, though. After this Ivar fella came to the village with his sack of silver scales and his ridiculous stories about silver dragons, things in the area started to change. There was this wolf pack used to cut through local cattle like housewives cut through vegetables. Then after Vigar got here, the wolves won't even come close to the local cows. Same with the monsters in the woods. They don't take one step towards the village or its people. It's all pretty strange if you ask me. Very strange indeed. Can I see your wares? What's beacon? Oh my word. I don't know what it is with the site. It just won't stop leaking at the moment. Oh. Each time this +2 frost axe lands a hit, the enemy has to pass a reflex saving throw DC 13 or be blinded for 1d3 rounds. Okay. So I'm guessing that's the beacon part of it. Frost deals a d6 and it has a +2 bonus on it. Not bad, but it's not great. I mean, that DC saving throw, 13 reflex saving throw, I think I could pass that in my sleep. Composite short bow, frost javelin, nunchucks. Nunchaku. Alright, offer all the random things and let's get rid of them daggers. I'm probably going to keep the Talonal wires because it has a name just in case. And deal. Let's sort this inventory before it starts annoying me too much.
I see something!
A trivial matter.
I'm not a thief. I am not a thief.
That is not far.
I'm allowed to open and look. Villager, villager. ISIL. Villager, villager. I mean, this place is all very suspicious. And Nixie, slim and dishevelled, is sobbing, noticing strangers. She flinches. Not again. What are you doing here? What do you want? Go away. If my family sees you, I'm as good as dead. You're as good as dead, I promise. I'm no enemy to the Fae. If you were the enemy, you'd just be bubbles on the lake surface by now. But here I am, see? Still standing and talking with you. But Nixie sobs again and rubs her eyes with a palm. What's your name? I'm Lika. This village is our home. Though we've let other people live around here too. Oh, we never should have done that. We should have chased these bumpkins away as soon as they started building their houses. Now they've brought disaster down on us. Why are you crying? My family kicked me out, all because of what I did to that stupid boat. Everyone was furious when the evil box fell into the lake. But I was just trying to do the right thing. Can you tell me what happened? Those men brought trouble. The ones from the big boat. They came to the Tour of Lebanese and brought that scary box with them. Even the fish in the lake could tell that the box was very, very evil. But those... Why is the screen doing this? It isn't just my eyes going on me, is it? And the screen isn't just wibbling in and out. It's stopped now. But those fools on the boats just laughed, bowing to the box, calling themselves Charon's Chosen. The Horseman of Death, an ancient and possibly most powerful archdemon in Abaddon. He is the Lord of the River Styx and the Ferryman of the Lost Souls. Oh, so it is the Greek Charon. Or something. They claimed he'd reward them soon. I wish I was the one... the one who rewarded them, though. I made them crashing that big boat against the foot of the cliff and sink themselves. Charon, I know that name. An ancient deity of death and evil. I was not aware he still had any worshippers. Did you drown those travellers? Yes, that was the last anyone saw of them. The evil box sunk too. If I hadn't have done it, they'd have opened the box, you understand, and something terrible would have happened. What's in the box? How should I know? I just know the box is evil. Everyone but the stupid humans consented. The fish started jumping ashore after the box fell in the lake. Wolves took their hunting up north to get away from it, and the humans wanted to open it. The first ones from the boat, and now the ones who came for it. You said someone's trying to open the box again. Who is it? More strangers. They hid in the cave near the lake. They've been using hooks and big nets to try and retrieve the box. It's a treasure. A treasure, that's what they say. How can that thing be a treasure? It's a huge, scary box and has a picture of a one-eyed skull with a coin on it. I don't know where it came from, but I know it's somewhere I never want to visit. I can help you. You look really strong. Can you do something about that evil box, maybe? I just wish it would disappear. Then those other nixies would forgive me and stop being angry at the humans. I'll help if I can. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just be careful, please. That box is so creepy. So I'm trying to now fish up a scary box. I don't know.
In due time.
It's so nice when the bacon comes up to you. Can you? Yeah, you can. Whee!
Consider me provoked.
Any last wishes?
Repent!
Bring it!
This will hurt.
And then it exploded. Some unknown power made schools of fish and jump ashore. Some are already dead, but others twitch, their eyes bulging, their mouths opening and closing in silent, as if out of desperation and horror.
Face me if you dare.
You should you should not be up front. Just throwing that out there.
You forced my hand.
This didn't work. I must be doing it wrong.
Oh.
This is for you.
Can you take care of that one? Hey, impressive. Tristan killed something. Valerie, can now you charge at... you can charge at that one. You could have charged at the other one, but that might have provoked, and I didn't want that to happen. Oof.
I'll fight if I have to.
Bum, bum,
Let's
bum.
try this.
Bum, bum, bum.
This is where I step in.
I'll try to make this swift.
Stay behind me!
Tear them apart!
I think that teamwork feat is probably one of the best feats that I've ever decided to take. Basically, if somebody scores a crit, if they have the same teamwork feat, they get to make a 3 attack of opportunity. So, with how often we're critting these days. Oh, hello. Received item fish from Silver Lake. See, I thought it was just a fish. But it's not, it's a fish from Silver Step Lake.
What's that?
Let's go this way.
To victory!
Ferocious walk.
This spell doesn't work like that.
Dire walk. Alpha walk. Dead Chiron. I should have a bless on this guy, and I can never remember where it's put it. If it's put it anywhere at all. Bomb. Can we get it over there? Because they're not too smart. Oh, come on. I think you need to play dead for the moment.
So it's come to this.
No, I would like you to move around. Oh, that one's not dead.
Let us rise as one.
You can't stop me.
Calm down. Not dead yet.
Serves you right.
There we go. Right. Now you can get up and move over to Tristan and get some healing. While we wait for them to either make it out of the hole or for what's this? Freedom of movement, control fireball, summon monster. Let's burn the summon monster. Octavia, you can move forward a little bit. Lindsay, you can move forward a little bit. And now we're just waiting for everybody to get out of the hole. This is the only bad thing about holes. Pits. Slightly better when it's the acid pit, because they keep taking damage while they're down there, and more often than not we end up out of combat because they all die before they manage to get out of the hole. Nope. Of course you must. Oh good, you got it on the stand up now. Skin them all. I mean, let's burn a heal from Tristan. Just tops everybody else and most people up nicely.
All according to plan.
This requires your attention.
What requires my attention? You're talking about the fish. I knew the fish were there. Hello, Ivar. A tall, red-headed Interesting. A man dressed in hunter's clothes is balancing on the brink of the cliff. One wrong move and he falls into the chasm. Stop! What are you doing? Oh no, not at all. Many would like to silence the dragon's voice. I won't give them that pleasure. Your Grace. You know who I am? I know everything that's happened in the village and for leagues around. Of course, I was aware of your arrival. Such a prestigious guest striding into our lands. I'm not hiding my identity. In fact, I have nothing to hide at all. That's so honesty is a virtue, and one that's hard to find these days, especially when we're talking about kings, queens, and those who seek to rule others. What do you want to ask about me, Baron? Care to tell me who you are? Well, it would be rude not to introduce myself. My name is Ivar. The red-headed man watches you closely, but makes no move to run or draw his weapons. If you pass through the village, you must have heard rumors about me. Once I used to be a simple hunter, but now I keep the peace in the region by the order of their lord, the Silver Dragon. So you're the dragon's voice, right? That's what people call me. These lands are under the protection of the Silver Dragon, and I'm his most trusted servant. We have no need to fight each other. I won't harm either you or the village. That's exactly what every new self-proclaimed king usually says. I understand why you are suspicious. Well, forgive me for being so harsh. I just want you to remember, these lands don't need new rulers. A protector is enough. We'll talk another time. Bye! Now, why are you so sure of this another time will happen? I won't stay here long. There's an old saying, sluggish wolves soon starve. Alright then, I'll ask some more questions. I learned what I wanted. Farewell. Is he actually going to run off anywhere useful? Nope, he just ran off into the oblivion. So there's something there that I can put things into. Oh. Hydras and tricksters. And the Nereid cannot see the trickster at the moment, which is rather annoying. Ferocious hydras. A critical hit. Another one of them people. Can you dash into her? No, you can't. Oh, you can to him, though. Go dash there. And miss, of course you miss. Bum ba bum.
Consider me provoked.
Ah!
Oh good, he's no longer fascinated. He's in a lot of pain though. Can you do something about her? I mean...
not falter!
This should do it. Ah!
I forget you're terribly immune to most of my abilities. There's one right at the back that's so annoying. Can I glitter dust you?
Yes.
It succeeded, of course it succeeds. Right, Octavia. Oh, there's two tricksters at the back. Well, let's have a pit over there. And of course they both succeed. Great stuff. Might have to get out of there. How big's this? Not big enough. Right. Tristan, move to about there. And can you heal everybody?
They go down!
Could really do it with going through that. Thank you.
Onwards!
Calm down. Not dead yet.
That wasn't fair. There we go. Hydra. Okay, I'm gonna need to withdraw you from there a little bit. Ba 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 ba.
You deserved it.
Oh, of course I failed the saving throw, and now I'm fascinated all over again. I believe. Yep, fascinated.
This is for you!
How good it started going after Octavia. Not Octavia, Valena. Don't really want to move you in, so just heal everybody up.
I'm wounded.
Yes, you're wounded. Murder her. Right, inventory. Switch to a cold iron blade and murder her.
Calm down. Not dead yet.
Okay, could we move you a little bit further out of the way? Shoot, I think that was a step too far. Yep, a step too far. Totally knock it off around. Right, so if that's not helping.
I'll fight if I have to.
Interesting. Can you get in there and heal only main guy? Thank you. Right.
Bring it!
Murder her. Shoot, I forgot to switch weapons. Oh, that's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, you get a massive bonus to doing this. And she's still not dead. Okay. Right.
A calculated
Sneak back
risk.
in and murder that thing. Lindsay, can you give us a haste? That great.
You can't stop me!
Dum 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 ba dum dum.
Repent!
Regret life choices.
Tear them apart!
Did one of them actually fall into the hole after all that? Kinda want you to go around that way for the murder.
This will hurt.
Consider me provoked.
Yes, there's something over there to pick up. I'll do that immediately.
You forced my hand.
Fell into the spike pit.
Let us strike as one!
Whee, there you go.
I'm wounded.
I'll fight if I have to!
I'll try to make this swift.
No, did she fall in again? She fell in again. Move away from the hole. All that for 1 point of damage. Really need to get Lindsay a better bow.
So it's come to this.
Whatever's here, pick it up. Collect all that stuff. And all of that stuff. Let's put on some of these. Just to get me back into healthy. Now it's a bit of wasting, so it will affect everybody, but it's one of them. It's like I'm running out of decent spells to use with Tristan.
They go down!
Why did you not? Oh, you're fatigued from the last set of combat.
Repent!
provoked.
A hardy little ball.
Ah!
Do not
Supplies.
You forced my hand.
So that's where Octavia really comes in with the acid splash. I didn't get it off, or I've not gotten it off so much today. So she's been doing 1d3 acid damage, which isn't great. It's okay at first level, and it's really useful for the fact that it bypasses all kinds of resistances. But of a same token, it's all like 1d3 is not ever really going to win a fight more often than not. But because she's an arcane trickster, wizard, and rogue, she actually gets sneak attack of 3d6 added on top. Which is of the same damage type, so that's 12 points of damage, as opposed to
This is for
just a 1d3. Bum ba bum.
Let's try this way.
Mudda. Ooh.
This should do it.
Bring it!
I'm good.
I'll fight if I have to.
Onwards!
Oh, my problem is the range sneak attack is difficult to get off at times, and more often than not, it goes off when I'm stood close. And if I'm stood close, there's a reasonably
As
good
it
chance
should be.
that I'm just going to murder whatever it is that we're looking at. Right, so let's have a quick save. 'Cause this is a surprisingly large map.
What a find.
Wow, 2,000 gold just lying around in the base of a tree stump.
Interesting. In due time.
We looked in here.
I believe I found something.
You found what? Footprints on wet soil lead. Footprints on the wet soil near the hut lead north. I'm picking up that for
That
the
is not
sake of
far.
curiosity.
You see that?
No, I don't see that. I see that.
I did as you asked.
The bark fallen off a tree indicates someone ran along the trunk with amazing agility. On the other side of a tree trunk, you see a human footprint. They lead north. Many footprints, I believe they're being now, and have a slightly different shape. Werewolf? Or were creature?
I see something.
On the border of the woods there are some indistinct footprints. They could be from feet or paws, but it will be difficult to track them. Oh, that's a curiosity.
Follow my lead.
A new random thing is occurring in the middle of, well, there's so much going on right now, and I'm not entirely sure what's what anymore. Oh, mobility to get across that. Go on, let's cross the ravine.
It is finished. All according to plan.
So I've been through this entire village. So to a certain degree there's a cave that I could go into. That's something. Farewell. Right, okay. I think it's to this cave that I'll go next. The cults, or the followers or worshippers or whatever they were called of Charon, were in here somewhere? A pile of notes. First note. Let's take it and then read it. And then close that screen and put it on pause. I'm not going to say it out loud. The chief would rip my head off, rip me a new one if he heard me, but I think it's time to hit the road. Silver Step is cursed. Look, just yesterday I saw a boat sailing in the lake, a big one, the kind with a big sail, and there was a bunch of people on board around some big box, a chest or something. All of a sudden, the steersman spins the wheel and rams the boat right against the rocks. The wreck went down at the cliff not far from our cave. The people jumped off and tried to swim to shore, but they just froze in place and sank without a sound. One gets close enough, I could see his face, the mask of terror I can't even begin to describe, yelled something about Charon, went pale, froze like the others, and pop. That was the last I saw of them. Surely there are plenty of nasty beasts around, but this was something else. I trust my instincts, and they'd scream at me out loud if, and they are screaming at me loud as can be to get out of here while we still can. If we don't, we're all going to die. Second note. Cut the whining bird. There's a wrecked boat and you say we should run. I say we go take a look. Might be something valuable in the wreckage. You've done it now. Chief found out about the boat and the chest, and now all he talks about is looking for treasure. He's going to have others out searching for it, poking around the lake bed, and with hooks, and at night of all things, so the locals don't notice. I'm telling you, no good will come of this. These woods give me the creeps, and they're even worse at night. Day before yesterday, I was on my way back to the cave and heard a noise behind me. Turned around and saw two glowing eyes staring at me from the woods. Imagine that, a fir grove in the dark and just two blazing embers in the night. I don't know what it was, I don't want to, I'm just glad it disappeared as soon as I saw it. While you were busy being scared of that wolf or runaway kitty or whatever it was, we found that box. It was just sitting there, all that precious treasure right on the lake bed, and not even that far from shore. We're fishing it out tomorrow. Are you serious? I swear, if we don't get out of here before that box is out of the water, something terrible is going to happen. Look, the beast that attacked the cave was scary, sure, but we gave it hell, didn't we? And when the chief set it on fire, it ran off, didn't it? Howled so loud, I thought my head would explode, but we came out fine. No, I think we're going to stay. I bet the box is full of treasure, and if the beast, and as for the beast and those drowned men of yours, well, that's profession's all about taking risks, right? There's risks, and there's whatever this is. Now, when the chief goes out to get that box, I'm going to show my heels. Farewell, Pearl. Life is long. Maybe we'll meet again someday, if we play our cards right. No. Why am I suddenly zoomed all the way in and badly out of focus?
A trivial matter.
I'll be damned. That beast again. No, these are new strangers. I bet they want to take away our loot. They're messing with the wrong men. No, we're just here to say hi.
Let's give them what they deserve.
But you decided to go down the route of violence. Do you really think that was a wise choice? I don't like the fact that one of them is called a bandit necromancer. How are we looking for a bless? I'm out of range now. Okay. Let's move up to there. This blurred camera angle is really annoying.
You can't stop me!
Whoa. Negative levels for 7 hours. For each negative level the creature suffers, it takes a cumulative -1 penalty on all checks, attack rolls, combat maneuver checks, combat maneuver defense, saving throws, and skill checks. In addition, the creature reduces its current and total hit points by 5 for each of the negative levels. The creature also is reduced at a reduced level for the purposes of level-dependent actions, such as spellcasting. Spellcasters do not, however, lose any prepared spells or slots as a result of suffering negative levels. If a creature has negative levels equal to the total hit dice, it dies. Negative levels can be removed with spells like Restoration. A creature whose permanent negative levels equals the hit die cannot be brought back to life through the Raised Dead. It can only accomplish through Resurrection spell, which removes all negative levels after a dead creature is restored to life. Well, that's
Calculated
terrible. Tristan, do you have your restoration for the day? No, you do not. You used it already on other things. Okay.
Tear them apart!
Stay behind me!
Consider me provoked.
Any last wishes?
You'll murder that guy. Okay, go nearly murder that guy. Oh, shoot.
I've discovered something.
Oh, good. Memory murder that person.
What's that?
This is where I step
Bum,
in.
ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum.
This will hurt.
Murder.
Let's try this way.
I'll try to make this swift.
This constant blurring and zooming in and out is not doing my vision any favors. Let's loot that. Silver eel. Masterwork sword. Ring treasure. Composite longbow. That'll do.
In due time.
Packs and crates filled with various goods obviously belong to some merchants before making their way here. Many of them are spotted with blood. Cypress Queen's Quill.
A trivial matter.
Tristan, we might have a new sword for you. Slicer is a runic mage blade. What? When you have a touch spell charged, the weapon's enhancement bonus is 2 better than its actual bonus. Oh. So it becomes a +4 when you have a touch spell charged? Not bad. Does seem very much like a blade for the Magi. I seem to favour touch spells of varieties. And it's a +2 instead of the +1 that Tristan currently has. So here you go, Tristan. May it serve you better than anything else. Right, do I touch the strange box? Probably. Here we go. Oh my word. Leaking eyeball. Water and sludge still drip from this huge stone block, which has obviously been dredged from the lake bottom recently. Upon closer examination, it looks like a huge chest, or rather a sarcophagus. One side bears an engraved symbol. A skull with a single eye socket, and the eye socket is covered with a coin. Lore religion. Examine the exterior of the sarcophagi. The engraving on the side of the sarcophagi. Does it tell me who rolled it? No, it doesn't. Resembles the symbols of Charon, the horseman of death, but Charon's symbol usually has 2 eye sockets, each covered with a coin. While the symbol here has only 1. There's nothing more you can tell about the sarcophagus, except that it's ancient. Search for a keyhole or easier means to open the sarcophagus. You have no idea where the sarcophagus came from, but you know enough about enchantments to know there must be an easy way to opening it. Experimenting with the engravings in various combinations, you discover when you press your finger against the skull symbol with your hand over the lid, it slides open aside easily. Your triumph is short-lived, however. As the lid slides open, there's a second sound of something huge, stirring within the sarcophagus. You hear a rattling whistle like air pushed through leaky bellows and scrapes of flesh fly from the sarcophagus. Whatever's inside is huge, angry, and far from dead.
We will prevail.
Parley? I don't think there's parley. Zombie, thick-skinned, dread zombie cyclops. Zombie lord, zombie. Okay, they die just as well as anything else. What are you? You're a difficult to inspect.
This should do it. A calculated risk.
Oof. That's not good. How many people are fed? It looks like everybody. Oh.
Dawnflower, grant me strength.
Some people are just shaken. Fear shaken. Right. Ah, shoot.
They go down! Hey!
Oh, there's another one over there. Did not see him. Ninth level or higher can use this performance to inspire greatness in all allies, granting extra fighting abilities. Inspire creatures gain 2d hit dice that consummate temporary a number to the temporary hit points. Plus 2 competence and fortitude saving throws. Serenity. No, undead are usually immune to mind affecting. Displacement, flare. We have haste, but I'm not entirely sure if that's what I want right now. I would like a counter fear ability. Right, you've already taken okay, inspire courage. Right, luckily everybody else is outside of the danger zone. To a certain extent. Right, Amory, take out the zombie, and then the zombie lord. Thank you. Do love it when Amory does exactly what I suggest.
Let us strike as one.
Okay, that'll get slightly easier once I can get Amory back into that one. Just need Lindsay to not die to this zombie.
Serves you right.
Of course, this zombie is slightly tougher than I would like. How long are you going to be feared? 10 rounds or a whole minute? Great stuff. Don't suppose there's any chance of you guys shaking that off? I mean, sure, why not? Use the angelic aspect. I don't know what it does anymore. No, it doesn't make you less fearful though. Right, Amory, take care of that. And then, can we move at all? No? Okay, great stuff.
Do not falter!
I mean, I suppose I've done my job. Releasing the terrible thing inside of the box and then killing it. Eventually. Right. You're just gonna wait there. You're gonna wait there. Luckily that thing can't hit Valerie at all. And now Amory's in position. The two of them should be able to make swift work of it. Maybe.
Any last wishes?
And Lindsay is there for moral support. Masterwork scimitar and nothing else. I mean, alright then. Oh, that blur. These boats are obviously pulled ashore recently. Inside of them are hooks, pivots, and other tools that will be needed to recover things from under the water. Let's burn a couple of these. Sure, why not 3? There we go. Everybody's looking better now.
As it should be.
And it's over here as a person? The problem solved. There was a monster in the box, the Cyclops, but he's dead now. You did it. I can tell my family as soon as possible. Once I tell them what you did, they'll understand that not all strangers are bad. The Cyclops, huh? I doubt any of us could have dealt with that. You've earned yourself a reward. A gold ring, a couple of paradots, and some gold. How am I doing on level? Fair ways off. I've already faced villager waves to you cheerfully. Hello there, traveller. Good day to you. A good day to us all. The Silver Dragon himself turned the day into a feast for us. Why, you might ask? All because I forgot my fishing gloves at home. Who are you? I'm Ansel, a fisherman, I mean. I was a fisherman when I did fishing. I don't fish now, so I guess I'm not a fisherman anymore. He frowns as he thinks about that paradox. Dragon? Feast? What's going on here? I'm telling you, I went fishing. I left my fishing gloves at home, so I blistered my hands pulling out the nets. So I couldn't fish anymore. So I had to go hungry. Had to, but didn't, because the fish just started jumping out of the water. So our great silver dragon took care of me. He must have been watching, thinking, how's this poor sod Ansel going to get by with blisters on his hands? How will he fish? What will he eat? How about I send some fish ashore for him? Now I think I'll never bring my fishing gloves again, so the fish will always jump out of the lake on their own. It would be great. Have you... Tell me more about your fish situation. Just go ashore and you'll see yourself. They don't jump right out of the water. We can barely keep up with collecting and salting them. We made 3 barrels since the morning dawned. And our barrels are barely big. Are really big, not just any normal barrels. Tell me about this dragon of yours. He's a huge dragon, a silver one. That's why he's called the Silver Dragon. He's very kind and always helps us. That lake is one of his footprints, filled with with water. That's how we got the lake. I got that one. I've got one of his scales. It's my lucky charm. The fisherman proudly produces a scale held by a string around his neck. Ivor gave it to him. You can search around for him. Maybe he'll give you one too. Have you ever seen... Yeah, dragons that huge don't exist. Maybe not. In other places, maybe our dragon is one of a kind. Have you ever seen this dragon with your own eyes? Sure did. Day before yesterday. 2 months ago, too. Bravus the trader says I'm a fool, but it was just a thundercloud. But you shouldn't listen to him. So what exactly has this dragon done to help you? He sent Ivor to us. Well, not really. Ivor was here before, but he was only a hunter, not a dragon's voice. When Ivor became the dragon's voice, everything got better all at once. Most of the bandits disappeared from the roads, most of the monsters stopped attacking us in the woods, and the wolves don't even take our cattle anymore. And then there's fish on top of it all. Yes, the Silver Dragon is the best dragon ever. Enough, I've heard of that for now. I'm just going to rid the world of one more utter fool. Let's talk about this hunter. Ivor, was it? Ivor, yes, he's a good fellow. Do you know where he is now? He's probably went up to the grove up north. That's where his children's graves are. Sometimes he'll disappear for several days at a time, and he won't tell anyone where he goes. But I know anyway. That's interesting. Silverstep Grove has been revealed on the map, and there was footprints going off after I talked to Ivor. Who is he? He's the dragon's voice. The Silver Dragon tells him things, and Ivor tells us, like when the dragon chased the wolves from our herd. He told Ivor, and Ivor told us. And when he scared the monsters away so they wouldn't attack us, he told Ivor that too. We get all kinds of good news from Ivor. Something terrible happened to him, didn't it? Why do you have to remind me of that? He wasn't the dragon's voice before. He just used to live here, in a house northwest. Used to go hunting and tell us all kinds of stories, like a real bear would. Had a family too, but then... Well, one night his kids ran away, tried to climb to the top of the cliffs in the middle of the night. It was a bad night, rainy and dark. They fell down. Far as anyone could tell, the boy probably slipped first, and the girl tried to help him, but she couldn't. She fell too, farther away. I helped search for them the next morning, then helped bury them. Lisa, Ivor's wife, she got sick right after and never recovered. And Ivor, well, he went odd. That's when the Silver Dragon started talking to him. That's enough about Ivor for now. I need to tell you something about the fish and this dragon of yours. I could talk about the dragon all day long. The fish were jumping ashore thanks to an ancient sarcophagus. The Nixies accidentally drowned in the lake. Your Nixies lied to you. They're fey. What do you expect? But Ivor told me about the dragon, not the fish, though. Just that the dragon is protecting us. But I know Ivor well. Ivor doesn't lie. I know for a fact that it was a cyclops kept in the sarcophagus under the lake that caused all the strange occurrences around here. The Cyclops is now dead, and the village is safe. The fisher listens intently, his face thoughtful. So, what then? The fish won't jump ashore anymore? That's too bad. Can we get another Cyclops from somewhere then? Let's talk later. Farewell.
That is not
See
far.
if that merchant's got anything sensible, but I have a feeling we need to go track down Ivor. No, nothing to follow up on. Give him all of the goodies that I've found and some of this crap as well. No, he doesn't have anything of interest. I've already checked that. Great axe, that can go. Light crossbow, masterwork crossbow, scimitar 1, masterwork scimitar, hide armor. deal. Sort by type. Close that up.
In due time.
I'm curious about this pile up over here. But at the same token, I think we've now got a new point on the world map where I can go to. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. There's part of me that suspects that he is a work creature of some variety. Just with the feet suddenly changing, and the bless really does last a long time these days. How long does bless last? A minute a level. Then we are 10th level? Yeah, 10th level, 10 minutes. Not bad. Well, that was in a box, and I'm not looting it out of the box because I'm not a thief. See, one part of me actually wants to play this again and just actually take everything that isn't nailed down. Because I'm not lawful good then. Right, so how do you propose? I do wish that you'd give us a little bit more to work off. There we go. I don't want to enter the location just yet. I want to set up camp, maybe? No. No, I am setting up camp. Because I'm running out of spells.
I really admire Guy and the Archknights of Avestan. I hope we can do some good in the world like they did. We just seem so... I don't know. We are not the heroes I imagined the Archknights to have been.
Don't be sad just because we don't measure up to some book. Even if it was based on real people, I am sure they didn't always agree. Don't focus on what we struggle with. Write your story about what we do well.
I need to go back to my kingdom at some point. Alright. Oh, my permanent my level drain has gone away. Okay, great stuff. Have a oh no, that's my ability, isn't it? So, like hampering injury, I don't want a hampering injury. How big is this map? It doesn't appear to be very big. See, that's the other reason why I suspect were creatures is like the wolves went away. I don't think a dragon would concern himself with wolves going away.
Don't hesitate.
I shall end this suffering.
This is for you.
Oof.
This is where I step in.
Charge up to the other one. Nice. Can I charge at either of these two? No, I cannot. I will just move forward and stay safe.
So it's come to this.
Nice. Oh, we're being flanked from the other side. Well, that's annoying.
Serves you right.
Emery, take care of that one. And then hit that one.
This will
Murder
hurt.
that one. And
Let's
stop.
try
I
this
can't
way.
make my way back there. Another wolf comes in. Valerie, do me a favor and charge that one.
repent! Sarenrae, be generous to them, for I am not.
Right, let's back you up a little bit.
I'll fight if I have to.
Excellent, they're going after Valerie.
You deserved it.
You two take care
This
of that
should
one.
do it. A calculated risk.
Nice.
You can't stop me.
Any last wishes?
You want charge? No. Ah, eyeball.
I didn't even break a sweat.
Oh, shoot. This thing has got a lot
You
of hit
forced
points.
my hand.
119.
Consider me provoked.
This is where I step in.
Tear them apart!
And I don't think any... Oh. Valerie got scratched. For 12 hit points.
Follow my lead.
But yeah, some kind of a work creature that will be commanding the wolves and keeping them in check by being the alpha. Don't come closer, don't. How can I stop you? It's too strong, too strong. And Ivor becomes a werewolf. Oh, Valerie fell over. If you could keep everybody else occupied while I murder this guy.
An expected outcome.
Serves you right.
This is for you!
The werewolf's powerful body shrinks and contorts. The bestial features transform into the face of Ivor, the hunter. There are deep wounds all over his body. So this is how it finally ends. You defeated him, that's enough. Stay your hand. Don't let anger control you. Tristan looks at the werewolf, sadness in his eyes. Please, at least speak with him before passing your sentence. Tell me the truth about what happened to you. Let it be my last fairy tale then. Once upon a time, there lived a stupid young hunter named Ivor. He loved his family, his wife, his son, his little daughter. Very much so. He also loved making up fairy tales for his children, but one night he came up with a foolish story. One about a silver dragon that could only be spotted if you climb up high on to the top of a cliff as a new moon rises. That very night, the children snuck out of the house and their bodies were found at the base of the cliff the next morning. His poor wife's heart couldn't bear the loss. Lisa, she was gone soon after. So Ivor cursed himself, cursed his own blabbering tongue and reckless mind. Standing near the graves of his family, he could only mutter to himself over and over, "I'm a monster. I'm a monster." And then he felt the self-inflicted curse begin to meld him from the inside, burning him, turning him into a beast. He became a werewolf, swore to protect the village, to honor the memory of Lisa and his children. He wanted to serve people and bring them good instead of evil, at least once. Anger and pain invited the beast's soul into a human heart. When I was a kid, the old crones talked about something like this. I thought it was just a fairy tale, though. Why not work for me? Lay down the title of Dragon's Voice and become the Baron's voice for the people. Sorry, Baron, but no, I'm not interested in working for anyone else. Besides, the village would never accept me if they learn who I really am. So please, just finish me off or let me go. The choice is yours. If I were to spare you, what would you do? I stopped looking into the future long ago, but I think I'd leave. But I don't think I belong here anymore, especially if people discovered the truth. Were you to spare my life, I'd leave and try to find a new reason to live. But how exactly did you serve people? There's always someone trying to take from the villagers, be it their property or their lives. Many's the villain who's become food for worms in the nearby woods. The only danger I haven't gained much ground against the gang holed up at the nearby cave. I started hunting them, but it seems I've run out of time to finish the job. Tell me about this gang. Planning a visit? The gang's not big, but they are well trained. They're very familiar with the woods around. They've made a den in one of the caves to the west, near the lake. It isn't far. Enough, Ivor. I've heard what I need. I won't kill you. Ivor stands, holding the wound at his side. I was not expecting mercy, but I am certainly grateful for it. Tristan lowers his head. I hope you come to terms with your loss. May ceremony's light guide you, Tristan. Tristan turns to you. Thank you for showing mercy. Octavia is shaking slightly after all that happened. Thank you for giving him a chance. I hear there's a cure for lycanthropy. Good luck to you, Ivor. Go, try and forgive yourself, if you can. Ivor bows slightly and winces in pain. A word of parting, if I may, Baron. Consider it my wolf instincts talking. I can tell you'll be the subject of stories and legends yourself soon, and I'm sure they'll be told far and wide across the land. Now, whether there'll be tales of terror or hope, well, that'll be up to you. I'll make sure of that, smiles Lindsay, and your story, it won't be forgotten, I promise. And we're stuck in combat. Oh, no. They've gone. Two small graves hide at the foot of the rocks, wooden grave markers whittled and painted with loving care and placed at the top of both. Called it. It was a werewolf. Fish. Alright, back to Loachingdale, I believe. Well, let's get into my lands and take care of whatever business this is. You've spotted enemies. 23:22. 38 minutes to midnight, folks. If you're here in the UK. And at that point, it'll be a new year. Woo! Huh, why am I not surprised? It's wolves.
You deserved it.
Ferocious wolf, alpha wolf. Take out the alpha wolf. Over two ferocious wolves. We'll go after Chiron. Why not? I'm not excessively concerned, but I'm trying to occupy most of the wolves with the fighters. And not the squishy healers at the back. So there is this one over here. She's going to come running up and bite. Oh, good. I mean, not great, because it came after me. Why me, I don't know.
I'll try to make this swift.
Stay behind me!
Oof. I mean, it's not so bad when Amory means both. It's when... Hopefully that sneeze didn't deafen everybody. I think I got the mute button in time, I'm not sure. And a bit my tongue. I don't think it's bleeding though. Oh.
Let us strike as one!
Yeah, it's more when Cairo misses all 4 attacks that it's all like, ooh, that's bad. Luckily, for the most part, it's very uncommon for me to miss all 4 attacks. So let's have some rage. Get rid of that one. And make the wolf fall in.
So it's come to this.
Skin collect. Skin collect. Is that all of them?
In
That's
due
all of them.
time.
Right, continue down the trail. I should have got some firework display or some cockamamie thing like that for New Year's. Just to show on stream, not actually, you know, go out and buy fireworks. So yes, continue on to there. There we go. Officially in my kingdom. Fixing the consequences of the agreement with Isthoth Selimus. Our merchant and diplomat settled the problem. There will be no unfair pricing and the economy will continue to develop. I can claim Silverstep. okay. I mean, I suppose I should, so that I can protect that village. Town, whatever it is. Why did I just close that up? I wanted to check everything else that's going on. I need so many BPs for that. 375. 375. 30,000 gold. Whew. Right. Can't do anything with that because it's Jode. Right, for 75 BP I get 2 BP. For 500 I get 4 BP. That'll take 15 days. That'll take 30 days. I mean, 150 would be 4 BP if it was the other agreement. So the other one's the best so far. 1 PP for 100, 15 days. And that will net... See, this is one of them ones where it's that's a late game thing, but it could be very profitable. Each city in the Barony gains an extra 5 BP per week. 2 BP for each town and 1 BP for each village. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be able to claim 5 over here, plus 1 for the town. So that'd be 5. That'd be 6 BP per week, and that will only go up in time because as soon as I get enough for a city and maybe a couple of more towns, and the rest of it, then the BP. The BP gain will go up over time, but at the same token, for 1,500, that's very pricey for any amount of BP. I mean, if we were to do the 75, I'm pretty sure it would have to be 20 BP. And at 20 BP, that would be 2 cities. Three towns and 4 villages would net me 20 BP. And then it'd be just as profitable as the 75 one. But I'm not entirely sure. See, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. And you're allowed 1 town per 3 village, or 1 town per 3 villages. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's profitable towards the end. Alright, it's profitable. I mean, to a certain degree, it's one of them where it's all like... This seems like a really good deal. This one isn't quite as good as a deal, and when you consider it versus this, it's all like, that just means... at 500 for 4 BP. For 5,000 or 1,500, that would be. Hey, mate, the viewer. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah. So that would mean that you're an hour ahead of us. It's not quite happened yet here. We got another 29 minutes to go. And yeah, I figured I'd just carry on streaming regardless, because I have a schedule, and it's not like we can go out and do much this year. So, not that I really go out and do much any year, but this year it's especially nice that I actually get to stick inside and not be called the stick in the mud for it. There has been some fireworks been going off already, but I don't think there's much going on at the moment. You have a good New Year so far? So I think I'm just going to start with this one. I need some more BP. 12 BP? Yeah, 12. Hopefully at some point I can stop having to buy more BP every time I do this. It's going to take him another 15 days, but there we go. I mean, one of the things I want to do is rank up. Although the advisor's busy. For both of these. Sure, on the balcony, I'm not going to hang out long, but I enjoyed hanging out with you this year, even if it hasn't been for long, so cheers. And I've enjoyed having you here. Thank you very much for popping in. And you have yourself a good evening. Be merry and joyful, and most importantly, be safe. But yeah, thanks for popping in. Right, so that's that stuff done. Let's head back here, because there's probably somebody in the room waiting for me at some point. If not, I will probably figure out where I'm going to go next. Throne room. I think the two ranking up are the next things I really want to do. So hopefully getting more BP. Let's rest. Why not? What do you say just before New Year's in Britain? I don't think we really... Oh, I've not come across any traditional... so, like, this is what you say at New Year's? I think we just go around and wish everybody else a Happy New Year's. I mean, you'd have a countdown. Here we say good slide. Is there... I'm wondering if there's some symbology behind the sort of like good slide. I don't get being English. Right, Valerie or Tristan. Tristan's busy for 8. Valerie is busy for 9. Judd is busy for 15. Eesh. No, sure, exactly. It's German. Guten Rutsch. Wait. Rutsch. Guten Rutsch. That's difficult for my tongue. Rush. Rutsch. See, I want to say sh from school. School. Rutsk. Guten Rutsk. It's about my best pronunciation, and it's probably massacring it. I'm trying to... I know a tiny amount of German. Rooch. Gotten rooched. Rooch. Is that it? Rooch. It's one of the things that it's like German isn't too dissimilar from English in certain respects, but then at the same token, because we're a mix of Latin, Viking, oh yeah, but yeah, English is a mix of... It's basically we've been invaded and taken over so many times that our language comes from just about everywhere in the world. And I don't really think anything is truly English. It's just a mashup of every other language. But I know that we do share some things with German, which means... It should be somewhat similar in certain regards, but the thing is, when it comes to words that we don't know, we try to give it an English pronunciation. You know, to me, that basically is rut and then the sh of school. But sk. So it'd be rutschke, which is nothing like roots. Root. Am I trying to say roots or root? I'll probably look it up online later. If nothing else. Basically, ignore the C. Rutsch. Rutsch. Guten Rutscht. Rutscht. I'm sure there'll be a pronunciation guide somewhere online. In English you write sh, in German you write sh. Yeah, so... See, now I'm trying to think whether there's a sh or not an SCH, because the only SCH that I can think of we have is school. But then it'd be SH. There's got to be some SHs in English. Yeah, SH shop. Duh. Shh. Don't worry about it. I don't mind the company, and it's one of them where it's like, I had a feeling that this evening will be a slow day for visitors, so you know, I've pretty much just been in my own little world here. Right. But yes, I shall concentrate on the game for a little while. I think I'm going to skip forward until Tristan's done. And then see how it's going. The locals are bored and don't exactly know what to do themselves. The military parade made the locals proud. How strong the barony has become over the past few months. Floods of volunteers have joined the army. Okay, great stuff. And that's Valerie. Does that open up any of these projects? No, it doesn't. Can we claim it with Valerie? No, we can't. Reasonable changes in legislation made it possible to not only cover the loophole, but also replenish the losses of the treasure to loyalty up by 3. No new stuff going on. and rank up Tristan. I need... Oh, I don't need anything. It's just I can begin it. Okay. So that's going to burn 14 days. Which is going to free up some people. And I can get Jard on that before that disappears. And that's going to take the community up to rank 3. Which hopefully will bring me in another BP. Something strange is happening in the region. Residents are complaining of strange misfortune. Somebody must be casting spells to harm the Baron is subject. The reason and culprit must be discovered. Success. We're now loyalty rank 4, but until the economy goes up, then it's stuck at a +2. I thought you were community, but loyalty, okay. News of the arrival largest observatory. The High Priest ceremony was a success. The enchanted wind enhanced the prayers of the citizens and raised them up to the sky. Divine 8. Divine might actually get to rank up. Paying attention to the community, and the project is complete. A heavily guarded caravan will now carry goods between your capital and Varnhall 2 BP per week. That's nice. Right, I have got a lot of events that happened while I wasn't paying attention. Right, that's the first of Desnu. That wants to be attended before the first of Desnu. So that'll be Lindsay. This will be Tristan. Jod, sorry. Mystic Circles is also Jod. And it also must be attended before the first. So that gets a +3 on... Ooh, but it only has a 14% chance of success. 40% chance of success. And this is 3 divine on success, 55% chance. I'll give him a token. That'll take that up. Devastating raids. People have begun to disappear from the area. Today one of the missing was found in the forest. She'd escaped a gang of half-orc slavers from the hold of Belkton. Their roving gang must be tracked down and wiped out. I mean, that sounds like a job for Amory. High Priest seeks your advice in the throne room. And a counselor awaits in the throne room. Okay, let's close out of this. I think that's what we're going to do. It also leaves, well, depending on what happens. I bear bad news, Your Grace. The number of foul idols have been seen around your new capital. They don't belong to any god known to me, and the strange loners seem to be drawn to them, which only gives me greater concern. I suggest we tear them down and be done with it. Who knows what evil still lingers in these stolen lands from the old times. In any case, it certainly doesn't belong here. Grind the idols into dust. I wish to see... I have no wish to see strange signs in the area. Leave the idols where they stand. Some worship them. We have no right to interfere. I mean, I'd like to investigate these things slightly more, but, you know, it's not like... What did he say? A number of foul idols. Okay, we'll burn them to dust. Very well, I shall ensure that nothing remains of them, rest assured, and to support our High Priest's endeavours. And is that Tristan? Yes, it is. And Karen, a local merchant wishes to be relieved of his taxes, which naturally stand against the laws of the barony. In return for this service, he promises to put good word for you in among the city trade community. I realize that such an offer might stir you to outrage, but try to understand. Greed can cloud anyone's judgment, wealthy and pauper alike. We must teach these people that the times have changed. The law no longer serves only the rich. Reject his offer, but refrain from punishing him. Wow, you get 5,000 gold and 40 BP if you just execute the guy. Yes, tell him that the law in my domain applies equally to all. You'll have to turn down many similar offers, but eventually people will come to realize that the stolen lands have changed forever. Henceforth, everyone is equal before the law. Bum, bum, bum. So many people wanting to bother me. The half-orc bows diligently, trying to adhere to etiquette. Your Grace, I come bearing gifts. A sign of my gratitude is for taking an old man into your service. With such weapons, you can go on raids and protect your lands. Everything has been tempered in lamblood, with proper prayers to all the proper gods. Everything is done with care for you personally. Received, the fly swatter. Anyway, it was amusing work, but I could give you something more impressive. A weapon worthy of Gorham's Herald. But I'll need your help with something. Come by if you're interested. Thank you. Keep at it, Varesk. Gladly. When a weapon or armor is made for a good fight, the work it does itself, and I know that many gifts, great fights await you. Right, people have finally stopped pestering me. What's a fly swatter? Bane, vermin, poison resistance, +1 greatsword wielder, +4 on all saving throws against poison, and does an additional 1d8 against vermin. Valerie, what do you not Valerie. See, the cold iron is mainly why I keep that around. I don't think I've ever used it. Is that better? 11 to 25, 10 to 25, but I think... Don't you have... Because this is a large bastard sword. Yeah, weapon proficiency bastard sword. You don't actually have anything... Oh, improved critical bastard sword. 17 to 20 versus... Yeah, only a natural 20. It's that 17 to 20 that really kicks that one off. Because that's all fine and well, doing an extra point of damage across the board. But it will only ever crit 5% of the time. That has a potential to attempt to crit 20% of the time. But this is no bastard sword. But it is good against vermin. Let's see how it stacks up. 10 to 20. 10 to 24. Crits on a 19 and 20 by 2. Has a +1 bonus. And also gets a D8 against vermin. I think I'll keep it all of it, because this one is definitely not as good. So I'll probably keep hold of that one and then forget that it's even there until, you know, until like, oh yeah, I have a vermin slayer.
That is not far.
Right, so that can go away, that can go away, and Talon Whip. I think I also got that of the Cypress Queen, and I'm curious because I've got a few things of Cypress Queen. I'm curious to see how many the Cypress Queen allows. I brought some relics, Dryad symbols, Taldon warrior dog tags. Some of the 5 items are still missing though. Oh, 5 items. Till we meet again. So 1, 2, wait, what do I type? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing 1 Cypress Queen item. That's good news. I'm missing more of the Taldan stuff, but that's unsurprising. Right, to put everything back away again, and the whip. Those can go away. That can go away. Right. The barony deal with some stuff. High priest seeks your advice. Okay. Counselor waits. Okay. Rank up. See, now I've got this and that, but right, Mystic Circles is Jod only. Very low chance of doing it. That's Tristan. That's a Jod. And that's Community. Community could definitely go with going up. Tristan, loyalty to rank. 6? 5? Yeah, 5. But it's still capped at a 4. Well, a 3 at the moment because economy is not so great. Really need to get the economy up at some point. I think to a certain degree, now that the villages... What do I need for this? I need BP out of the wazoo. How many could I buy if I purchased? 418. See, if I claim another region, that would give me more BP, but not by much. I don't think. It basically gets me ranks in these things. Which allows me to get ranks in these. I wish I could get people into these positions, but I think I need to even raise them up more. Unlock all 10 points. I don't know. Obliteration. Talk to Vask. Vask is in... Oh, yes. I'll go off and do that in a bit. Upgrade another village to a town. Add 5 regions. Increase ranks. Barony 10 times. I gotta be doing it at some point. Right. Events. Okay. You begin that. You have a crisis point and do that. You do that. That one can't be done right now. Economy. Oh, I might be able to do something with economy. 100 BP. to connect to Mivov, which gives me a BP. Begin that trade agreement. It still requires. All these require Julius. Not sure why it's not giving me the little X by them. Right, Jod's busy. Taking that up a rank isn't going to do anything because it's already down. If we put Valerie in on that one, then that will be community up to 2, which is already down by 1 anyway. So that will actually get me another BP per week. Spend 2 weeks resolving problems in the barony. Mysterious news. Failure. Didn't bother to go to that one because busy. Accursed things. Strange things are happening in the region. Residents are complaining. We advise to trace all sources of corruption. All of the harmful items were purchased from Nazriel the weaponsmith. I banished her from my lands. So hopefully that's over. Grim prophecies. Fae prophetess has made camp at a crossroads. She reveals the future to all who come to pass, but only the dark side of the future. She may not be lying, but her stories are making people miserable, and may look to the future with a sense of doom. It's time to put an end to this. The bard sent by the curator had hoped to make light of the prophetess and reassure people in a bit of laughter, but she told him about his gloomy future, and he was found drunk at a cheap tavern not long after. Mobs of depressed and troubled people are wandering listlessly. Oh, I can just claim the North Nile marches as well, apparently. That's expensive. Right, there's no point in doing that one. Right, what events? There's no events. There's this one, but that's not going to do anything for me. So if we go to regions, rank up, let's get rid of that for now. Oh, Jod's 3, and you can increase divine. What did I... Yeah, it's time we address the council. Neighbouring states have begun glancing hungrily at our lands. Nope. I just got a ping, and I just heard a firework. Happy New Year, everybody. Not that I think many people are around. Oh, I think it's actually snowing out there. Sorry, you can hear the pings from my Facebook, but that's probably all blowing up because it's New Year's. It's a long burning firework. I appreciate that there isn't much for you to see here. I'm just looking at the screen, but yeah, I don't actually think anybody's here, so. There's lots of fireworks going on out there, but there's also a lot of snow coming down, so it's poor visibility. Whee! That was a big one. That's what she said. Terrible jokes abound. Alright, remember folks, just because it's a new day, it's Friday, the 1st of January 2021, it doesn't actually change a damn thing about the current situation that we're in. I'm hoping that this year it does turn out better than last year, but at the end of the day, just because it's a new year doesn't mean that we should all run outside and start hugging people. As much as we miss running outside and hugging people. I think we're going to call it here. I need to figure. Well, I think I'm going to go take over. Well, do I? See, that's going to take another 14 days. That's going to be another 30 odd. Because one of the things is if I claim here, it's going to cost 225. I don't have 225. And if I claim here, it's going to cost 375, and I don't have 375. If I leave it a couple of weeks and get this rank up, that'll give me another 60, 76 BP to add on to the 83, so that's 159, which is slightly closer. It also means that my divine will be up by 1, and that will help. The other thing that I need to consider is the fact that a lot of my places are nowhere near built up. I'm raising these things up because I don't yet have a arcane, stability, relations, or espionage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I think I need all 10 according to this screen here. Unlock all 10 posts. So I need to build up relations, I need to build up espionage, so that I can open up them positions, maybe? Unlock 4 secondary stats for your barony. I have no idea how that's... Unlock any secondary stat. I'm guessing that's... Okay, so that was... Defense, magic, culture, and foreign affairs. So I think the divine was a secondary. Oh no, culture was a secondary. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4 is to build up the rest of them. But I don't know how I got up the culture. What did that say? Culture and in small baronies, councillors covers matters of culture can be assigned to a curator when your loyalty rank reaches 4. Okay, so relations. Relations in smaller baronies, regents cover matters of relations and will ask to assign a ground diplomat when the community rank equals it reaches 4. Okay, so by ranking up everything else, so I need to get these 3 to 4. This one, this one, this one, and this one. No, divine. Yeah, relations. Oh, I need to get relations up to 4 to get a espionage. Okay. I'm seeing this. So divine needs to go up to 4 till I can get an arcane. Right, okay. I think that makes sense. So ranking this up is going to help because that's going to start increasing the divine, and if I can get it to a 4, then I can get an arcane. But I also need the build points. But the ranking up is more important than claiming the regions as far as I can make out at this moment in time. But oh, hello. The dwarf is... Greetings, your grace. By tradition, if a worthy ruler is a patron to a master, the master gives generous runic arm. I have returned to honor this tradition. Dragon snail plate, thank you for your gift. Continue doing what it is you're doing. Let's have a look at the dragon plate. It's heavy, full-scale plate, so it's armor class 11 with a +2 in, oh no, it's a 9 with a +2. It's got acid resist 30. The armor check penalty is down? The armor check penalty is up. I mean, it's the adamantine. The fact that this is adamantine, where it's a 3 damage resistance, and a lot of things that we're coming across. Yes, the acid resist is great, and I'm thinking I'm gonna store that just in case it's all like I come across somebody and it's like, oh yeah, you need, you're going up against a dragon that spits acid. Then I'll probably come back here and crack that out. But anyway, this has been session 36 of Pathfinder Kingmaker. Again, I wish you all a happy new year. Or guten Roots if you're in Germany. And yeah, I don't really. I'll be back tomorrow playing Cyberpunk 2077. We're just 15 followers away from a giveaway. I'll be back on Saturday playing some co-op game with Kichi Aineko. No idea what I'm going to play yet. And then it'll be the usual schedule of Monday, Tuesday. I've actually updated my schedule in Twitch. I finally got around to doing that. So if you go onto my Twitch and look at my schedule, it's got all your time zones. It's got all the stuff that I'll be doing. It's a little bit in the air when it comes to Saturdays, but that's just what we do. We kind of decide it on the day, what we're feeling, who's around, who else is around. Some games just play better with more people, whereas other games we can kind of get away with it. I am going to get off and find out who is blowing up my Facebook with the whole pa-ding, pa-ding, pa-ding that you're hearing. I usually mute it, but it's I kind of forgot, and also, it kind of reminded me this time that it's time that I finish. So I think that just about covers everything. So yeah, once again, Happy New Year. Hope everybody has a good year this year, and I'll see you next time. Taddy bye.